Hello, everyone. Welcome back to E20 Zone TV. And it's been a bad day at the office for West Ham. Up in Manchester, snowy Manchester, and coming away with a defeat 2-1 to the champions, Manchester City. And I'm here, joined all the way from the US of A by Lucas. How you doing, bruv?
As good as a day can get when the boys lose. Not too bad.
Yeah.
Could have been worse.
Yeah. Could have been worse, mate. Obviously, we had to deal with the weather and all, not just a world-class team. And, it's just, to me, we're going to get into it. We're going to see what your thoughts are, what my thoughts are, and what the people in the chat's thoughts are. So please, if you're here, stick your comments in there. I would like to know what people's thoughts are on today's game. I really do, because I was on different social media platforms and I've got people criticising people. When I look at the game today and I think I don't think anyone deserves criticism today, especially when you've got to deal with snow and you've got to deal with a world-class team. So we will get into it, and we will start off with this man, Lucas Fabianski. I'll let you take it away on this one, Lucas.
Shit, like you just said, I was in the same boat really on Twitter. I saw a lot of Fabianski criticism, and I don't personally, again, I don't know how week in and week out he's just still, because it's the thing. We all know we want Areola. We all want him.
Yeah.
But week in, week out, Fabianski just keeps showing us that he's not gonna let Areola take a spot easily. But after today with the snow and everything, even watching on the telly, I didn't even know where the ball was. I had to watch the ground for most of it. I think Fabianski gets an 8 for me, an easy 8.
I thought his kicking was absolutely horrendous.
It was shit.
And that's why I'm gonna downgrade him to a 7. I thought he kept us in the game. I thought his saves were good, but his kicking was awful. And yeah, like, his kicking is bad. I must admit, but if I could give half marks, I would. Like, it'll be a 7.5 for me, but it's just not an 8. But his kicking did sometimes he was kicking the ball, it was going straight into their players. It was
that
up against it.
Goal.
I agree.
I would have probably given him a.
I agree. What John just said here, his shot stopping's immense, and I agree with that 100%. Shot stopping's good, but his kicking is woeful. But Fab was great. He gets an 8 for John. Moving on, we will go to. Let me find this man, because he's right at the bottom of the list. We're going to start off with Mazawaku. I'll go first in this one.
I'm interested to know what you're going to say.
I think the first, up till the goal, I thought he was all right. I thought he was doing his job well. I thought he was getting forward. He was defending well. One error cost us a goal, and then we're 1-0 down. And to me, that error made it hard work for us to get back in the game, just with the snow and everything else. Second half, he was getting forward, but his crossing was horrendous. It's an hard rating to give him, but I'm going to give him. I'll give him a 5. Really, for the goal. Like, the goal is a massive error. Like, the gap there is massive. It's not like it's a couple of feet or it's 12 foot or 10 foot. It's huge. And the goal was massive, especially, like, I feel if we go in at half time 0-0, right, we've still got a chance of getting something out of this game. As soon as we go 1-0 down, we're up against it straight away. I just don't think Mazawaku's a defender myself, mate. Someone said it a long time ago. I'll never forget it. I think it was either on American Hammers or somewhere. I think it was John on American Hammers. He said, I think, like, Mazawaku's just was like a number 10 or a winger, and someone said, we'll put him left back. And then he's just been a left back ever since. And for me, defensively, not good for me. So I've got to give him a 5. What are you giving him?
I think this might be the only one that we might just be on two complete different sides of the fence, but you are right. He is at fault for the goal, but in my opinion, it's one of those, like, every level was at fault, and he just so happened to be the last pendulum of fault. I thought he was very positive today. He seemed to be the only one really making it happen, going forward, getting past players after the first 10 minutes. Because the first 10 minutes we were all over him. I was really excited, but that goal is hard to ignore though. And I thought he made a few good passes. He made some passes that some players could have made a little bit more effort to get, or there were some poor touches on his passes. But I don't know. He was personally my man of the match. I'd give him a 7.
Oh, your man of the match, Lucas. Bloody hell.
Yeah, that there wasn't a lot of positive today for me. But he seemed to be my only shining spot. But I can die on that hill happy.
Well, I respect your opinion, mate. But I will constructively disagree massively. Moving on to this man who got injured, had to be subbed. Frustrating today for him, really. Couldn't really do a lot with the first goal because he's out of position. Is Cresswell to blame for that? Also, because he's not reading it? I don't think so. Crossing was hit and miss today. Yeah. He got subbed. He done a good effort to stop the ball from going in. I'm going to give him a 6. I think he was better than Maz, in my opinion. And I think 6 is about right. What are you saying?
The set piece crossing today from him was absolutely shit. You can't ignore that. But he grafted. He potentially had a goal-saving attempt. He came off in honor, valor. I think 6 is fair. Again, if we could do half marks, I'd give him a 6.5 just for the goal line save.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm with you. Sort of like a 6 is about right. Moving on to this man, Kirk Zuma, who I thought didn't really put a foot wrong really today, if I'm honest. Like, what's your rating for him, Lucas?
Again, usually he's been even when we haven't played that well, he's usually been very standout in the games that we haven't played so well. But it's hard to give him a 7. But I'm gonna go. I think it's 6. A 6 is fair.
I don't know on this one because I think a 6 is too low. When I look at what he done in the game, I thought he was good in the air when the balls were coming in. He marshalled the defence. He organised others. I can't give him a 6. I just think 6 is too low. I'm gonna have to give him a 7. Like, an 8's too high. A 6 is too low, so 7 is where I'm at. I thought he was okay. I thought he was pretty good. None of the goals were his fault, really. Their front line didn't really do a lot. It took basically their 2 defensive midfielders to score a goal. So yeah, I'm going to say a 7. I thought he was pretty good. Moving on to
no complaints from me.
Moving on to this man who I was worried about. He was the one I thought, was going to have a poor game, but I've got to admit today I thought he was the same as Zuma. And I'm going to make this pretty short and sweet. I'm going to give him a 7 and all. Craig Dawson really didn't do a lot wrong. If I'm being truthfully honest, I thought he put his body in the way. Both centre halves, all 3 centre halves to a point, done pretty well. The only reason why I'll give Cresswell a 6 because he got subbed. Yeah. So if Cresswell stays on the pitch, he might have got a 7 and all. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I'll make it pretty short and sweet. Dawson for me gets a 7. What's your rating?
I can't give Zuma a 6 and then give Dawson a 7 personally. I don't think one was really better than the other. I thought they were both average for me. They did what they had to do, and just unfortunate to concede a goal. So I'm probably going to stick with a 6 for both the center halves.
Yeah. Oh, you're a harsh critic. You're a harsh critic. But moving on to this man. Now, I see a bit of criticism on this man on social media saying Kafal should come in and play For 70 minutes, Ben Johnson was good.
Mhm.
Then he started making mistakes. Now, I don't know whether it's because he was knackered or whatnot, but he started making mistakes. Ball control, crossing, defensively. He was, like, I can't knock this geezer. It's the first bad game. Or I ain't going to say he had a bad game. I thought he was okay up to the 70-minute mark. Then he started to make errors. I'm going to say the first sort of inconsistent game that he's had since he's been starting for West Ham. Now he's up against the champions. He's playing in snowy conditions. What people have got to remember also is what about the goal line clearance this man done in the first half? But no one will remember that because they will just like
shit. I can barely see it on the telly.
That's what I'm saying, right? And what makes me laugh is people will start digging this geezer out. No, I'm giving this geezer. I'm going to give him a 6, very high 6. Yeah, but it's just not a 7 for me. Yeah, because the last sort of 20 minutes, he started to lose his way a little bit, right? The first 70 was good. The goal line clearance is good. It's just not a 7. So it's a 6 for me. What are you rating him, mate?
I'm almost at the same outlook as you, but my rating will be different. I thought the first 60, 70 minutes he was different gravy. He was playing very well. It looked like the same performance he put in on his debut at left back against City, but just on the right. Because look, to be fair, Raheem Sterling was quiet all day. Ben Johnson had Sterling in his pocket all match.
Yeah.
No, there's no line. But then again, the last 30, 20 minutes, man, there was just, I wouldn't say there was like some major mistakes, but again, just showing his youth a little bit as like he's still got some stuff to learn. But I'm gonna give him a 7 because I thought the first hour, 70 minutes, he played really, really well, and then the last 20 was pretty poor. So the way I average that out, for me, it's a 7. I thought our fullbacks played great today.
Yeah, well, I don't know. One of them maybe, but the other one, I don't know.
Whatever he was playing.
I've got to admit, I'm with you with the 7, but it's just the last 20. Like there was chances in that last 20, but I understand what you're saying. So we and you're not far apart on that. Moving on to this man, Thomas Souček, who
he needs a goal bad.
A couple of passes today, he was just a bit, a little bit not there. What I don't like about Souček is when he gets the ball, he's always looking to pass it sideways instead of going forward. I must admit, I know people say about 4-nails. I've said about 4-nails before. Like 4-nails is a bit of a hype thing sometimes. That's what I've said in the past. But when I do watch 4-nails closely now, since I've said that, every time 4-nails gets the ball, he's playing it forward. He don't really play it sideways. And this one thing that Thomas does, he always plays it sideways. It's like he has to go across the midfield instead of going like a forward pass, like a piercing pass through. I don't know what to rate him today, mate, if I'm honest. I'll take your rating first and I'll have a think about it. I really don't know.
Man, I was saying this at the pub. I've been saying it for a couple weeks now. If there is anyone that needs a goal at this club, it is that man. He needs a goal so bad for his confidence. And again, I love Souček. I particularly, besides Yarmolenko, I won't even say I really dislike Yarmolenko that much, but I love everyone at this club. I love every player. So, and when I give these ratings, like there's no hate behind it at all. It's just realistic. Just like you like to say, keep it real. Souček for me today is probably a 5.
Yeah, so I'll just see the comment there from John, and
it's hard not to worst performance. I don't think it's the worst performance he's had, but he just below par.
Yeah, there's just nothing there, is there? What it is, the problem is there's just nothing there with him at the minute. What you're seeing is what you're getting, and
that's not necessarily his fault, but like when you get your opportunity on the ball, you got to do something.
See, the thing is, where I don't do half marks on this channel, I always do like whole numbers. So I agree. a 6 is too high and a 5. I've got a rating the same as Mass. For me personally, a 5. There's nothing. There's nothing again. And people, I don't understand what Alex Crowell's got to do with getting this team. He's got energy. He gets about the pitch. I don't know.
Maybe Wednesday. Maybe Wednesday.
Let's hope so, mate. But I'll move on to our captain leader, Declan. I thought Declan was good. Very good. I thought he drove with the ball. I thought he was unlucky. He was fuming. Absolutely fuming. Done that great run. Got to the byline. Didn't cut it back. Threw a snowball up in the air because he was absolutely fuming with himself. But you know what? That's what I want to see from our players. I want to see that sort of grit to say, you know what, come on. And yeah, he was gutted today. I thought he was our best player myself, Deck. I really did. He looked the part. He tried to make things happen. Defensively, very good. He's an 8-2 high for me. I don't know. Yeah, I'll give him an 8. I will give him an 8 because I think he was our best player by a country mile from the starting 11. 100%. So it's an 8 for me. What are you rating?
Again, it's tough because we're not doing half marks. Because my perfect rating would probably be a 7.5. But Pep did say how incredible of a player he is. So your rating is not far fetched at all. But he was arguably our best player today. But I think with the way I'm averaging now in my head, I'm gonna go 7. But it's just vintage. It's almost vintage Declan Rice now every week. He's just so consistent. Like you never question this guy's motor. What's the word I'm looking for?
Engine.
Yes, motor, engine, his will,
determination, desire, everything. Yeah.
But he really did. He didn't set the game alight for me to give him an 8. But he every week he's arguably our best player. So I think I'd go 7.
Do you know what I like about him? Before I move on, I like when he picks the ball up and he runs with it, and not enough.
That's why I want to see us in if we ran a 4-3-3, I would really love to see Souček, Král, and Rice, and just let Rice do the damn thing.
Yeah,
I would like to see that.
But and I feel a lot of this is square pegs in round hole before we move on. Yeah. Is that if you take Fornals and put Fornals in midfield, I don't think Fornals can do them driving runs, but Beck can. But Fornals is the hard-working industrial player, passes the ball, gets around the pitch, and I'm going to move on to Fornals in a minute. Not knocking Fornals, by the way, but if you take him out and put Lingard in there, it's a completely different player, like as an attacking threat. So, yeah, I thought, as I say, Deck's the man, mate, and we've got to keep him at this club. Moving on to this man, who I've got to admit, he worked hard, got about the pitch. Did he do anything in the final third? Not really. He was the third. What was he? He was like the third man in midfield. He worked hard in midfield with Rice and Souček. I don't know what to rate him either. Him and Souček are the two that I found it hard to rate today. So I'm going to let you go with this one and see what you think.
Again, it's the same thing. I love Souček and Fornals dearly. Two of my favorite players, but that attacking third today was just so terrible. Like, just this is my main gripe about the match today and the attacking there. We got into position, but shit, the quality was so bad that it was just so bad. I hate to do it, but I got to give Fornals Fornals is a 5 for me personally. He did 5. He did graft, and again, if we're doing half marks, I'm going 5.5, but I'm sticking with 5.
I
don't know if I expected too much from us today, but I was very disappointed in the way we.
This is hard. This is hard for me, though, because I'm going to be honest. When I look at Pablo Fornals, I don't look him as a goal-scoring midfielder. I look him as a hard-working, a bit like, let me have a think of a player. He's an industrial midfielder. Gets about a bit like John McGinn at Villa, sort of thing. Gets him out, gets stuck in, nicks the ball, nicks the odd goal, but I don't expect him to sort of make chance after chance for people. He played okay today, but it's just okay for me. And to me, I'm gonna give him a 6. I thought Souček was the worst one, Rice was the best one, and he was the one in the middle at the end of the day in that 3. So yeah, I'll give him a 6. John says Lucas is turning into Team Wolf. Always.
I did just trim the beard the other day, so.
Scotty Venn says hard working. Yeah, Scott's in the house. Right, let's move on. Now this is the interesting one. It's Saeed Benrahma, and I have seen a lot of stuff, and I was involved in many disputes about this man. Now I'm going to start off with this. This man does not deserve to be scapegoated today. I'm sorry, but I can't hear that. Right. For 55 minutes, he had a shot on target. I've got the notes here for the first half. Benrahma had a chance in the 5th minute, but it's a poor ball from Antonio. Ball's played behind him. Benrahma has a shot in the 22nd minute. Pressing from the front. Do you know what I mean? Helping Antonio. Antonio was playing well in the first half. So I've got the notes literally in this little paper here, right? And for me, I don't feel the criticism that he got today is justified. I really do not understand it, right? And fair enough, we get onto Lanzini's great goal and all that. But I thought Benny was okay. I thought he was okay, but like as the weather started getting worse, West Ham started to get worse, and they was doing a lot more defending than attacking. So I'm not going to rate him a 7 because he's not a 7. He's not a 5. So he's in the middle of the road for me. He's a 6. Like, and that's the best way of summing it up for that. Like, it's a 6 for me. I thought Benny was good for the time he was on. He got injured. Now he's out with an ankle injury, from what I've heard. So we will see about other players coming in. So it's a 6 for me. What's your rating?
In my opinion, out of the front 3, front 4, whatever the hell we were running, 5 in the back, I think it was. I think Benrahma out of the front 3 or 4 got into the better position out of anyone. He did only play 55 minutes. If he played the rest of the game and continued the way he was playing, I mean, he could have gone north, could have gone south on the rating, but I think 6 is completely fair. Again, we got into position plenty enough times today, but the product was just so shit. So I think a 6 is fair.
But you've got to respect Manchester City's defenders. They've got Laporte, who's worth 50 million. They paid for him. Diaz 55 million. They've got 100 million pounds worth of defence there. Like, and we've got to respect their defenders. Do you know what I'm saying?
If we didn't get into position, I would tend to agree, but I don't know. Just I expect a little bit more.
Oh, listen, I'm not defending Benrahma in the slightest. I'm not saying he was amazing, but you've got to be sort of, what's the word? You've got to be. You've got to criticise.
Yeah, that's for everyone, not just Benrahma.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is you've got to be able to criticise the geezer and praise him. Like, and I don't think after 55 minutes people should be scapegoating this geezer when there was another 30 minutes of the game.
3, he was definitely the better one for sure.
I thought he was all right, mate. Myself, I really did. He tried. He got injured. Just unlucky. Moving on to our new long throwing expert, Mikel Antonio, who I've got notes for him and all. Yeah. Antonio decides that he likes to take the ball off his own players now, and Thomas Souček. He likes to, what else does he like to do? Long throws into the box and drifting wide again. This is the same theme that I keep seeing with Mickey when he gets frustrated and he doesn't get the ball. He goes hunting for it and he starts to get into positions where he was having a go at Thomas Souček today. saying, why are you going for that ball when he should be making the run for Thomas to find him, not get the ball?
Yeah.
I'm going to let you rate him first because I had the Ben Rama one, so you can take it away, and then I will go after you, mate. So take it away.
Again, for first 10 minutes, the attacking third, our attacking players looked to be up for it. Just couldn't not finish anything, but they just couldn't put it together. But as the game went on, I was crying. I was begging Moyes, please. I was wearing the man's shirt today, mind you, but I was begging for Bowen to come on for Antonio because I really thought taking Masuaku off was harsh as being my man of the match. But Antonio, underwhelming the past few matches. And again, I think some people are expecting too much from him. I know he started off super hot, but we all know he's a striker now. But is he really? Like, we gotta be real. It's a 5 for me.
See, I understand it when people back him up, and I just see the comment there from John. And I respect John, and I respect John's opinion. But when he is supposed to lead the line, players who lead the line don't drift wide, drop deep.
I was just about to say that, and I'm so sick and tired of him wandering out to the wing. And like, I don't know at this point. I don't know if it's a Moyes thing. It's a mental thing because he's literally been on the wing his whole life. I don't know what it is, but if you're playing striker by yourself, you cannot be doing that.
Thing is, what it is, where he used to be a winger, he drifts out wide because that's what he's used to, going wide. And it's night and day with a striker. If you go and get a proper striker in there who knows, they stay in between the goal stick, basically, goalposts. For me,
absolutely,
I understand it, but then on the 78th minute, I got it written down here. All right, he's taking a long throw into the box, and he's our centre forward. And I'm like, what is going on? And that's twice now I've seen that in 2 weeks. See it at Wolves away. Now, and what made it worse was he was cleaning the ball, getting it all ready, and he throws it to the first defender. I'm like, are you having a laugh? I thought Antonio worked hard in the first half. I even written down that he was playing well because I'm not going to criticise him. He was playing well in the first half, and then
that first pass. The first 3 minutes of the match, that ball to Ben Rama, not the second one that was behind, but the very first one, he put it in perfectly. That was probably the best thing he did all day for me personally, which is sad to say because, like I said, I was wearing the man's shirt, but I was crying for Bowen.
I'm going to give him, it's between a 5 and a 6 to me, and there's no half marks here. I'm going to give him. He played well in the first half. He was trying before the snow come down. He worked hard. He there was no he got Laporte booked when he was driving into the box in the first half. First half he was very good. Second half he wasn't there. So I'm going to give him a 6, but it's just a 6. It's just I've got to respect him for his first half performance, but I thought second half, taking the ball off Souček, doing all that, taking the throw in, drifting wide, got to stop for me. And I think until we get a proper striker at this club, you will see a vast difference because that striker will be in the box saying, right, get the balls wide. I want the balls in the box, and I will be there. And Antonio was on the wing or taking throw-ins today. Moving on to our subs, and I'm going to start off with this man, Manuel Lanzini. Right, this is the thing where I started to see a lot of criticism today of Ben Rama and saying Lanzini should come in. Now, Lucas, I'm going to ask you a question, right? And I want you to give me an honest answer. Take away the goal. What did Manuel Lanzini do?
I was literally gonna mention that because I'm the same way. I hate when people do that. Like, oh, he scored. But, like, for fuck's sake. I mean, it was the last kick of the game. That was a desperation. That's a desperation heave. If we're talking basketball.
If I'm going to rate him today, I rate him 10 out of 10 for the goal. Because the goal deserves a 10. It's a 10 out of 10.
With the goal, I give him a 7, but without the goal, it's a 6. So
now,
I mean,
I'm with you on that. I'm with you because I thought he was there, but there was nothing else. Like to me, he was busy, but I don't think none of the players that come on were really any apart from Kafal. Kafal looked okay, but Bowen was poor. He was there, but there was nothing there apart from the goal. So, what's your rating for Lanzini, mate?
Because he did score, and it's a fact, you can't take the goal away from him. And it was an absolute worldie, which I will admit. A 7 because he contributed, but you know what? Nah, I'm giving him a 6. I'm giving him a 6.
I'm going to give him a 7 just for the goal. But without the goal, it's either a 5 or a 6 for me, and that's no joke. I thought he was there, but I thought Man City were just a completely better team, and we didn't have any opportunities to speak apart from a Declan Rice shot, which the keeper saved well in the second half. Really, do you know what I mean? So it is what it is on that. Moving on to this man who come on the 75th minute, if my notes are right, which they are. 75th minute, Jared Bowen comes on. And for me, I was disappointed massively. He comes on, I'm thinking, Jared, get that ball and run. Carry that ball. And he keeps drifting inside. Every single time, drifting inside. His corners were okay. But yeah, I was disappointed in Bowen today coming off. I wanted him to make an impact, and he just didn't make an impact today for me. I'll give him a 5. That's no joke. I'll give him a 5. I thought it's middle of the road. He's got 15, 20 minutes to come on and make an impact, and he didn't really do a lot, really. He done a few good dribbles, but we need him to sort of do something in the final third, and didn't really do a lot. So what's your rating, Lucas?
It's a tough one for me because when did Fernandinho score? He scored like the 86th, 85th minute? Something like that.
90th minute.
Oh Jesus. Because when he come on again, he was pressing, but that's not enough to get the job done. And he only had 15 minutes, so it's hard to. I want to. I'd probably give him a 6. Just 15 minutes of work, just not enough homework material for me.
Fair enough, mate. Fair enough. Moving on to this man, Kafau, who come on. He went in that sort of. I think we went back to a flat back 4. I think it was like 4-4-2 at one stage.
I think he was playing left center back.
Yeah, his left-sided centre back, or I don't know where he was playing. Really, if I'm honest, I think he was actually playing left back. I think at one stage because I think we just converted to like a 4-3-3 sort of type system.
Whatever was going on.
Well, yeah, whatever was happening. I thought Kafau played decent. I must admit, come on, does his job. Kafau is what he is. He's a good player. He's just not getting on the right hand side at the minute. But yeah, I thought he was pretty decent. I'm going to make it pretty short and sweet. I'll give him a 6. I thought he'd come on. He was all right. Yeah, I'll give him a 6 for me. What's your rating, mate?
6. He came in, was busy. I think he put a foot wrong maybe once, but he kept busy. He looked lively to me. 6 is fair.
Let's go to this man, the ref. What's your rating on the referee today? I thought the ref was all right. Really, if I'm
honest, bad. I was more.
The only thing I've got a problem with the ref is he should have booked Diaz.
Yes.
All right. Antonio turns Diaz, and Diaz brings him down. No yellow card. He books Laporte. I don't think we got a player booked today. If someone in the comments can tell me, I don't remember us getting the player booked. They should have booked Diaz for me. So, what's your rating for him, mate?
I'll tell you what. Before that, I'm going to give the Linos a 9 out of 10. They were on it today. I saw one Lino hit that eagle eye on the Mahrez offsides. That was incredible. And the Linos were talking back to the players. I love to see that because usually the Linos are like the cowards that they just make the call and they don't like to hear any stick and they just like brush everyone away. But the ref was not bad today. Like you said, Diaz should have been booked 1,000%. That could have changed the game in a couple ways. But
in fact, if I remember rightly, that was about the 65th minute. If I remember rightly,
yeah, that was when Antonio put it right past him down the flank and rugby tackled him. But I'm in between 7. He did a pretty solid job today.
I'm with you on that, mate. I thought he was pretty decent today. He let things go. The conditions were bad. It's no brainer for me. Gets a 7.
Grounds crew gets a 9 out of 10.
Yeah, I must admit, I will give them a shout out. I thought they was first class. It could have been called off. And that half time, they done real well to keep the game on. So
20 minutes too.
Yeah, I'm giving them a 10 out of 10. I thought that was first class there. Absolute first class. Moving on to, finally, the rating of the evening. And it is, excuse me, I've got hiccups, David Moyes. I will go first on this one. I thought that Moyes, I thought he picked the right team, even though Mass was in there and Dawson was in there. I had faith in him to a point. I weren't happy with Dawson coming in, but Dawson played pretty well. For 30 minutes of that game, we had Man City massively under control, and one error from a player that I personally don't think is good enough to play for West Ham. I think he's a championship player at best. Changed the course of the game. We had to deal with the weather. We come out in the second half. Then we started getting hit with injuries, with obviously Benrahma going down with an ankle injury, which is an ankle injury. Cresswell goes down with an injury, and then Arthur gets subbed for I think it was Bowen, and he brought the subs on. For me, Moyes didn't really do a lot wrong today. I've seen people criticising him for his team selection and the way we set out, but if that snowstorm doesn't come in, I believe we're getting at half time 0-0. I think we've got them massively under control. The performance was better. Just the final third, we just couldn't do anything to PS3 Man City. And when we did, it was basically a pot shot from outside the box that goes in the top corner. Do you know what I mean? So yeah. I'm going to rate Moyes a 7 today. I don't think he done a lot wrong. I think, obviously, I can't give him any higher than that because we've lost the game. But he brought the subs on. It was more to do with the players today rather than Moyes, in my opinion. And for me, the game plan was working. It was just one error, one mistake from an individual who I personally think is not good enough. So yeah, it's a 7 for me. What's your rating, Lucas?
Took the words right out of my mouth. I was gonna say the same thing. I thought I wasn't. Let's be honest. Whenever we see that lineup with Masuaku in, it's a 5 in the back, and whenever we see Moyes and 5 in the back, it's like PTSD from relegation battle. It's like, oh, we don't want to see that shit again. Like it's not the most positive, but again, before we conceded that goal, we looked pretty solid. I thought we set up well. But again, I think Moyes got it right, but the players just did not execute one bit today, especially the final third. The midfield was all right. Defending, I thought we were very solid, and just the attacking third was so bad. So definitely a game to forget about in that area. But Moyes 7 for sure.
Yeah. For me personally, I'm not going to be critical of the team because I thought when you got to understand Manchester City are one of the best teams on the planet. That's the first thing we've all got to understand. They are the current champions of the Premier League. Got to understand that. We've got to understand that their back line is worth probably more than the whole of our team. Right? Do you know what I mean? So we've got to know where we're at. Like, and we are West Ham United. We are fourth in the league. We've got players in the team who are performing over their ability, in my opinion. And this game will not define our season. The Brighton game will be more of a game than this one. Do you know what I'm saying? So I'm not disheartened, as I've said it on numerous platforms. I'm gutted to lose as a West Ham fan, but I'm not disheartened by it. I believe that this game is a free hit. I've seen Manchester City go to teams and put in demolition jobs. Right? Do you know what I mean? They destroyed Arsenal at home. They beat Chelsea at Chelsea, and let's be honest, we've took them all the way to the 94th minute, and it's only because they've done us in the 90th minute that we've lost the game. Even though we scored the goal to come back into it late on, but it was a consolation. If we would have got a draw out of that game, we would have stole a draw because they was just a better team.
That was my prediction. I predicted 1-1.
Yeah,
and I'm right there with you, but I still am a little disheartened just because of City's lineup. When I saw that lineup, first thing I thought was we can so get a point. We can so get a point because no De Bruyne, no who else was out? They had so many players out, so many first team guys out. Grealish was out, De Bruyne was out, and just there was a point to be had because I don't really rate Raheem Sterling unless he's playing for England. Bernardo Silva is a baller. Gabriel Jesus is hit or miss. Mahrez, he's good.
yeah.
So, I just think there was definitely a point to be had, especially when who was in the midfield? You had Gundogan,
Rodri.
I think Rice and Souček stack up well against them. So, and I'm a big midfield wins the match guy. So when I see that, I definitely think there's something to be had. There's some points to be taken. But it's Man City. They're just a well-oiled machine.
Exactly that, mate. Exactly that. They are what they are, and I see it before. On I think someone said something to me about my Wolves tantrum. I will lose my rag with West Ham when they put performances against Wolves, who drew 0-0 with Norwich. But I can't knock them today. They're up against Manchester City. They're away from home. They're dealing with the conditions. You can't criticise the boys today. They've had a go. It hasn't worked out. We move on. But I can criticise them at Wolves away when they look like they just all over the place defensively and everything. So you've got to know where you're at.
If De Bruyne and Grealish started today, I definitely full on be in the boat with you. Just seeing that lineup though, they are a well-oiled machine, but just seeing that lineup with so many key guys out, I really thought we were going to be able to get a point today. And we could have. It just stinks that it was just one of those games where you mess up twice, you concede twice. When we've seen them muck about for 70 minutes and we still win.
Yeah, I agree.
That's the only thing that's really disheartening for me.
I agree with you,
that's
mate.
West Ham. That's West Ham.
It is, mate, and that is West Ham to a T. And I just want to say this to John's comment. Are we positive about Brighton? It's time to break the curse.
I think Moyes is going to drill it into the boys. This is a must. Right. This is a must win.
Now I'm going to tell everyone a little story quickly. It's a little short story. And how I first started getting into the YouTube game was last season when West Ham played Brighton. We drew 2-2, and we've set up with 5 at the back.
Oh my!
And we drew 2-2 in a game. Ben Johnson scored. And that's how I started to get into the YouTube game.
Did Neil Maupay score that game as well?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I hate that guy.
And it was Lewis Dunk who scored for them. I think Souček scored and all. The Brighton curse has to stop. Now, they've been in this league 5 years, I think it is, and we haven't beaten once. We've drew with them and we've lost to them. And for me, Wednesday's game is a bigger game than this one. This one, to me, I will do this live review. I will cut it off. I will go around and do all my other stuff that I've got to do with other platforms. and I'll be pretty content. Yeah, but if we play Brighton at home and we don't get I ain't gonna say if we lose the game against Brighton at home, then I will be very, very disappointed because we should be beating teams like Brighton. But Man City, good team. You've got to respect them for what they are. But Brighton, for me, they can be beaten. So the Brighton curse has to stop for me. What's your quick thoughts on that, Lucas, before we wrap it up? So?
We've got to get over the hill now because, I mean, even though we've lost back-to-back matches for the first time since April, we're in such a good spot. We need to continue trending upward. We're blessed right now to be sitting fourth after back-to-back losses, honestly. And
yeah,
with our history with Brighton, I would take a point, but this is a match we really should win. It's one of those where they're a good managed side, but when you stack our players against theirs, we're better. And hopefully Moyes players will combine for 3 points. And I really rate Graham Potter. I think he should be England manager, but we'll see. Like I said, I rate Graham Potter, and he can definitely do the business whenever and wherever for sure, especially against us.
definitely against us, mate. I must admit. Well, I want to thank Lucas for coming on. Lucas, always a pleasure, mate. I've known you a while doing the American stuff. You're a top man. I love the States boys. I really do because they're passionate. They love our club and they're top men. And I've got untold amount of respect for you, Lee, etc. All of them.
Thank you for always allowing me to come on and give my voice.
No worries, mate. No worries at all. You're always welcome. I want to thank everyone in the chat tonight. I really do appreciate everyone who's contributed with comments and their opinions. Their opinions matter. The final thought from me is this is a free hit. It's a game that we've got nothing from. Did we deserve to get anything from this game? Not for me. Man City are a well-oiled machine, millions and millions of pounds of talent. And we had to deal with not only a world-class team, but we had to deal with one of the worst weather conditions going, like for a long time in a Premier League game. So we've got to know where we're at. We played okay, but a couple of little errors, and we end up losing the game. And for me, as a West Ham fan, I don't like to say it, but we didn't deserve to win today. And we didn't. If we'd have got a draw, we would have stole it. So let's be honest, we've got to know where we're at. Moving on, Brighton on Wednesday, I think it is. It's a big game, Wednesday or Thursday or whatever it is. And I want to see a reaction. It's time for a reaction now. We've lost at Wolves. We've lost at Manchester City. It's time to go back home and get a win. And then we've got Chelsea at the weekend in a big London derby against the team who's currently top of the league, I think they are. And it's not a blip. We've played good teams and we just haven't turned up. We didn't turn up at Wolves, and today we turned up. But Man City were just a better team in all aspects of the game. And that is it from me. I'll be back again soon with more West Ham content, betting content in the upcoming week. So check that out on E20 Zone TV. If you're new around here or this is the first time, please give me a subscribe. It goes a long way. It really does help me out greatly. I'm getting my numbers up, and I really do appreciate everyone who's subscribed and everyone who's commenting in the chat. Thanks again, everyone. Take care, everyone, and try and enjoy the week ahead because it's a big week for West Ham. Take care. Come on, your hands.